So now we're gonna close your eyes. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Keep your eyes closed. Come back to you feel comfortable. Okay, so she's a little bit laterally flexed and rotated to her right. From a shoulder standpoint, they're fairly, it's not too terribly far off. If we go elbows, they're not really medially rotated or anything. If we go down into the wrist, if we look on the back side of the wrist, it's not flexed. The front side of the wrist where the thumb is, it looks like it's flexed, but we're not gonna call it. Same thing on that side, we're not gonna call it. Now, her thumb, abducted. Her fingers a little bit more flexed, so we're definitely gonna call that, okay? That side not, but the fingers are flexed. If we look for like a flexed shoulder, I wouldn't necessarily call that. And this side, same thing. Yep, not bad. Okay, so now we're gonna do the scapula. So if you turn around, and so I'm just gonna look at the scapula right here. Okay, so we've got one, the left one's a little bit higher than the right, just a little bit, okay? And if we come in here and measure that, that's about even, so I'm not too worried about that. And that's pretty straight up and down. That one also pretty straight up and down. If I go back to the knees, there is a little difference. So this has a little bit more of a bend to it. This pushes back into me a little bit more. So I'm gonna say that the left knee is extended. So I'm gonna turn you forward. I'm just gonna look at the hip height here. And so if we get on the iliac crest, oh yeah, the left side is high, the right side is a little low, okay? And if we go ASIS, PSIS, that one's about there. And if we go this side, maybe a little anterior tilted on the right. We may have a little bit of lumbar extension right here as well, okay? So let's have you sit over here on the chair. So I'm actually gonna say a little bit of plantar flexion, a little bit of eversion. Maybe it's big toe adduction. I'm gonna go big toe adduction on the left foot over here. Toes look good, so I'm not gonna call that. Okay, so we got the knee, and I'm just gonna measure the knee hanging down this way. And so if we go tibial tuberosity, that's pretty even. That could be medially rotated, internally rotated. Yeah, because if I get this one, see it's just outside. So that one I'm gonna say is internally rotated. And so I would say the right hip is a little bit higher than the left. And if I come from this angle, we're just gonna see if we still see it. Yeah, you can still kind of see it, the right, her right over here is a little bit higher than the left. Nice. If we go standing up, you can see she's pronated. If I go on the back, you can look at the ankles and you can see how this kind of curves in. So that gives me a little bit of, shows me the pronation as well. On that, you can see the flat foot there. And then once we finish the postural assessment, we just hit calculate, and it takes us into an S1 primary issue, and it gives us what muscles, specific muscles, need to be strengthened. And we can either print these off and give these to the person right there. We can click on them and then go down and email them to ourselves and then forward those on if we want to do that. But the percentages right there tell us which ones are more important to do. We have the secondary treatment that we can go into, and so we can look at the symptoms that the person has. And I always just scroll down and say, do you have any of these symptoms right here? And if they don't, then I just hit none of these symptoms are present and submit. And then it'll take us into the muscle testing page, and we can, if we don't know how to muscle test some of these muscles, we can click on the video for that. what I'm going to do in this instance is just choose the C8 nerve. So I'm just going to choose C8. And then it takes us to the treatment page for that as well. And so you got the full bilateral treatment. In the lower body, you have the full bilateral, the single position, and then the one-sided treatment. And we can save the treatment page and then save all of this information. It'll send it over to us. And so it sends all the postures that we found and everything are included in that, along with the treatment information and the exercise information and all of that. We can go back up to click the logo right there, and that starts the process over, and we can eval another person.